Yo guys, what's up? Mig here, Max Beats, and let's take a little look at Logic Pro X 10.5's new drum sequencer. It is amazing and it's long overdue. So I've been messing with this for a little while, for a few days now. Actually, more than a few days, since last week, and I've made a bunch of beats using the step sequencer, and it is awesome. So I've been using Logic for a long time, and the one thing that I think it was always missing was this function. They've included so many cool new features in this update, but this is like the standout for me, at least. I even recently became, good with FL Studio and Ableton I've used for years because they kind of satisfied the side of me that wanted that that drum machine style beat making process. But now that Logic has incorporated that into the latest update, there's nothing else that Logic needs at this point. So this is pretty awesome, and I want to just show you real quick how awesome this is. So what I did was I opened up my file browser and I navigated on my hard drive to where I have some drum samples, and I made a little kit over here. So let me just get rid of some of these. And this is not going to be like a crazy in-depth tutorial, but this is like a first look on how to use this drum sequencer. I'll show you the basics, okay? So over here, I have a kit that I put together with a few samples. And actually, I want to show you how to do that too. So why don't I just do this real quick? Let me delete this kit that I just made. We'll start from scratch, okay? So I am just going to just make a blank track. It doesn't matter. I'm going to open up my browser over here. Now, this is a really cool feature as well. Once you navigate to the sounds that you want, you drag and drop them. Watch this. This is insane. So let me see what kick I want to use. That's a good one. This is a tight kick right here. You grab the sample that you want from the browser, right? And you drag and drop it to this track header. And now you have choices that pop up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a drum machine for myself. I'm going to make a kit. So I'm going to just hover over Drum Machine Designer and let it go. Now watch this. That sound is now on my keyboard and in Drum Machine Designer. All I have to do is fill out the rest of these cells right here with sounds that I want to use. So I'll go to like clap. Let's grab that clap. And we'll put that, let me hit the key that I want. Wherever I want to drop this sample, I'm going to just drop it here and it's going to show up according to the key that I'm hitting on my keyboard. So I'll put it here. So I have my kick, I have my clap. Let's grab a hi-hat. Same deal. Let me open that back up again. Keeping it open, we can now grab a hat, and I will grab, let's see what we have. That's a decent one right there. So once again, I'm going to hit the key that I want to place this hat on so it highlights, see? And then I will grab this sample, and I will drag it here. Cool. So I made a basic kit right there, right? Let's drop that in. Drop it in. Come on, you can do it. It's taking a little bit here to drop this in. You know what? I have some things open in the background, so let me just close out all the other programs I have open that I don't need. All right, so here's a kick, clap, hat. So if you notice down here, you now have waveforms right in the drum kit designer. So you can edit these files just by clicking on these cells. So there's my kick, my clap, my hat. Like right here, there's a little bit of space right here. I'm just going to move this over here, close up that gap. If I want to shorten the hat, just drag this back end area here, and then do a little fade. Smooth it out, right? That's freaking dope, man. That is dope as shit, right? So Same thing if I want to add a snare. Let's go add a snare. So I'll use this cell right here, D1, and I will grab a snare. Let me open this back up again. Stay open. All right. Let's just click on some snares so we find something that makes sense. I like this one. All right. All right. So I have this kit, right? And now that I have this kit done here, I'm going to go down to, let me see, I want to save this kit. Where do we save it again? Oh, it's down here. Okay. Down to the left side of your screen to your library and hit save. Actually, we don't want to save it as a kit piece, so let me get out of there. We want to go and save it. Save a channel strip setting. We're not going to do that. To save this, we need to open this up. Let me think here for a minute. All right. Click here. Go up to user patches. And now you can save it right here. So I will just name this Anima Kit 2 because I had done one earlier for myself, and save it here. All right, cool. So now we have the kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a drum pattern using Logic's new sequencer. So here's how you do this. You're going to go to where your kit is, the track to where your kit is. Let me get rid of this piano. We don't need anything else open but this. And you're going to right click this area right here, and you're going to select this new option here, which is create pattern region. And up comes your pattern. Put a loop bar above it, and you can either just click up here or you can use the equal button once selecting a region. Oh, I'm sorry. We use C for that. We use C for that now. I'm using old key commands. For me, I have my Logic 9 key commands, and if anybody is coming from Logic 9, I have another video with a download link to my Logic 9 key commands, which I've been using forever. You can install them. I put them on a drive link for you. But anyway, so now you see this open at the bottom, and we have a tab called Step Sequencer. So here is what happens. Hit play, and you can see that the step sequencer is moving, and we have it set for 16 steps right here. Let me close this side area. So check this out. Let me close the browser. We don't need the sound browser open. We're not doing anything there. All you have to do is start plotting in your drum sounds. I'll put on a metronome. All right. So you can see how easy that is. Ready? Let's do some hats. Ready? Oop, I got a little eager. Too eager. Turn off the metronome now. All right, so we have a 16 step pattern going on, okay? So you may be saying, like, that is not long enough to make a decent beat. I agree. So what you do is you go over here where it says 16 steps, and you change that to 32, and it's going to copy the 16 to another 16. So now you have 32 steps. So let's start from the beginning. Ready? And you could do the same thing and open it up again for another 32 by going down to the 64 steps pattern selection here. And now what you can do is go and start editing out drums, changing things up a little bit. Ooh. All right, cool. So we have like a basic pattern going here. All right, so that's the basics of this. Okay, so there is so much that you could do here. Let me close this up because I'm going to show you. If you go over to the left here in this pattern step sequencer area, you can go and you can hit this inspector button, and it's going to open up all these other options. Now you could do editing via the whole pattern, just the row, or just even into a step itself. You could change everything about each one of these notes. It's pretty awesome, man. So let me just back out of that for a minute because I want to show you something that's really, really useful. And that is this area right here. So if you're doing modern day hip hop or dance or trap or anything like that, you want to do like hi-hat rolls and things like that, things of that nature. Go here where it says velocity value and hover and click on that and just kind of hover on these little on these options here. Go down to where it says note repeat. This is built right in here. I don't know any other software that does this. So what happens is when you hit note repeat, you'll see these dots come up here. All you have to do is click on one of these instruments. So I'll go with the hi-hat, right? And now you can see there's a number 1. That means that note will play once. You can now click and scroll, and you could go up to 16 rolls within that one note. So right here, I'll add 3. Ready? How crazy is that? Built right into this step sequencer. All right, so great. Let's stop this for a minute. So not only can you do rolls and stutters right here in the step sequencer, but you can also edit velocities, which is really useful if you want to make some of these hi-hats or some of these claps come in and out, make some of the kick drums harder or lighter. Right here, go here and then set this to velocity. And now you could do the same type of editing, but with velocity. So let's just say like, we'll bring this hi-hat down. Bring this kick all the way up. This one all the way up, bring this one down a little bit. Just to show you what's possible here. Bring these kicks up. Bring this snare hit down. All right, so, I mean, this is the basics of what is possible, but you have all these other options like gate. You could tie notes together. You could change the octave of a note. Pretty much anything. You could actually set this for these patterns to play backwards. Fucking nuts is that? Excuse my language, but if you hit this button right here, you could set it to go backwards or back and forth. Check this out. How nuts is that? So I don't even know what these other ones do, but let's try them out. I think it goes to the right and then back to the left. All right, it didn't do anything yet, so let's see if this is going to do anything. All right, so that doesn't do anything special that I'm aware of yet. We're going to have to research that more, but let me try this now. Is this like a random? Yeah, it's like a randomizer. So that's really cool if you want to make like unpredictable fills and things like that. What the fuck? Crazy. All right, anyway, let's go back to the normal left to right mode here. And now let's open up the sidebar here and see what else options we have. So we can change the pattern length, the step length, or we could change the step rate of just a row. I don't personally have a need to do a lot of this stuff, but you can do that. You could change the playback of, let's just say, like the hi-hat. You want to change the playback direction of just the hi-hat. Let's hear that. Like, what? What the hell, man? It's crazy. And while that doesn't sound great, the idea that you can do that or randomize it, I'm going to randomize the hi-hat track. That's pretty hot right there. That works. It's crazy. All right, let's go back to normal. So you could say, like, I only want this hi-hat to play. I want everything to play for 64 steps, but I want the hi-hat to play for half of that. So you could do this. Cut the loop in half right here. Let me see. 28, 29. Should be 32, right? Okay, there we go. It'll start repeating. The hi-hat will start repeating when it gets to 32. So it should at least. Let's see. Yep. Started right back again over here. Crazy. So you're like, okay, you know what? I only like the first 16 beats of the hi-hat. I don't even want it to like go all the way to the end of that. So do 16 bars, 16 beats there. It's crazy. You could do so much with this. All right, so here's another thing. So you may be like, well, what about like transposing hi-hat rolls, which is like a common technique in today's hip hop and trap. We do this all the time where we take a hi-hat and we kind of stutter it, but we stutter it as it's transposing down or up. You can't do that effectively once you've made a drum kit where the hi-hat is only on one of the pads in the step sequencer, but you can do it another way. I'm going to show you. All right, let's close this out. And let's right click on the pattern that we made up here. By the way, let me open this up. Here is the sequence playing from the drum kit that we made on separate tracks. So you can actually mute out pieces right here. Pieces of your kit. Now, you may want to make these into separate stems. So that's going to be part of what I'm about to show you. Because right now, they're all playing through one output of the drum kit. They're playing right out through a stereo output. So what we're going to do is go here and go right click. And we're going to convert this to a MIDI region. All right. So now we have all four of these outputs in a MIDI region where I can go through now in a piano roll and do further editing of this drum kit, right? Just like, a conventional piano roll, but still, you can see the hi-hat is only on one track. And if I try to do a transpose on it, that next note down doesn't have anything on, no instrument information. So what we need to do is separate all four of these tracks, the clap, snare, hi-hat, and kick, to their own tracks with full transposability up and down of each instrument. So I'm going to, once again, right-click on here, and we're going to go to the function here, separate by note pitch, and now we have four separate drum patterns, all right? They're separated by instrument now, and when let's just say I double-click on this hi-hat instrument, and I open the piano roll for it. Now, if I go up and down the keyboard, we have full access to the pitch of that instrument, which is exactly what we need here. So we can now expand this a little bit and drag some of these down and up. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Easy enough, right? And on top of that, we could turn these into audio simply by clicking hitting Control B on each one of these files. And now we have audio stems of each drum part. So that's badass. That is my first learnings and workings with the new Logic Pro 10.5 drum sequencer. And I'm going to try to make some more videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and always visit maxbeats.com for more industry information. You can hit me up on my IG at maxbeats, MAXXBEATS. Same thing on my YouTube channel, and my Twitter is AMAXBeats, AMAXXBEATS. And that's it. Mr. Mig, maxbeats.com, out.